Hello friends! Thank you for joining me today at the Mississippi Children's Museum. So today we're going to be talking about what's the buzz on bees. First I'm going to talk about why are bees so important. Secondly, we're going to make a cool bee puppet so you can remember how important bees are. And then finally, I'm going to share with you some tips on how to help out the bees in your own house or your own community. So first of all, bees are really the most important pollinator in the world. And bees not only help out so many plants around the world, but they also help out many plants in Mississippi, including blueberries, strawberries, melons, gourds, amongst other flowering plants. But bees are actually decreasing around the world, sadly due to habitat loss and habitat fragmentation, which is caused from growing human populations. And so we need to try to do our best to take care of bees. Let's make a cool bee puppet so you'll kind of remember how important bees are. All right, so what you need for your bee puppet is a white sandwich bag, some tape, some yellow paint and a paintbrush, and something to hold your paint, some glue, a black marker, some black pipe cleaners, something for your little bee eyes. I chose black beads. And then finally, a sheet of white paper and a sheet of black paper. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint my sandwich bag. And luckily I already have one ready right here because it needs to be dry to do the next steps, but I'll kind of show you what you need to do first. All right, so let's get started. Leave it out for maybe an hour or two until it's dry, and it should look like this when it's dry. Okay, so now let's make the stripes. As you probably know, bees are yellow, but they have black stripes. So let's get our black construction paper and let's get started. So next, we're going to tape on our stripes. And you can use any type of tape you have available, or if you want to, you can use glue. So next, what we need is our wings. Bees have wings. They go from plant to plant, collecting pollen on their very fuzzy legs and carry this pollen to other plants. So the cycle of life of this plant keeps on going on. So let's make our wings. Okay, so for our wings, what you have to do, you can use your black marker. Just find yourself a little even surface, and then we're just gonna cut out a wing shape. And then maybe you can draw a design on your wings if you'd like, just whatever you prefer. It may look like this when you're done. Okay, so now let's cut it out. So this is what your wings look like when they're finished. Now let's put them on our bee so it can fly around. We're gonna put it on the back, okay? So it should look like this once you've taped it down, or once you've glued it down, whichever you prefer. So next we're gonna do the eyes. This is kind of the easiest part. You can use beads, but I think that I may just use a black marker. And you can just use whatever you like. You can even use googly eyes if you have them around your house. And finally, we're gonna give this bee some antennas, okay? So he can sense what's going on in his environment. So for the antennas, what you need is to get one pipe cleaner, right? And you'll cut it in half, okay? And now let's kind of make a cool design. There we go. Our bee is going to have some very fancy, and a very fancy antenna. Okay, so then tape this to the very top. So maybe make like a little part of your antenna like this, and then get your tape, tape it like that, and then let's put it on the top of the head. So I'm gonna show you. We get our tape, and then we just put it on the very top. There we go. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. There we go, we have a bee. So, before I head off, I'm gonna tell you just a few tips on how to help out the bees in your community. Number one, you could keep some bee-friendly plants around your house. Bees certainly do love plants that produce nectar and pollen. And these plants may include clover, dandelions, or even honeysuckle, which also would benefit you. Then another thing is, bees get thirsty just like humans do. So maybe having a fountain in your yard, and if you don't have a fountain in your yard, that's totally fine. Just leaving out a little bowl of water will do a lot to help the bees in your community. And then finally, you can always buy your honey locally. There are so many places that you can go around your community to buy some very delicious honey from local beekeepers in our own community. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a very fun time with your bee puppet. See you next week.